What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Food Delivery Stories. I'm your host, Mr. VAZ. Appreciate you guys taking the time out to listen to this food delivery story. And it's not a clickbait. Yes, I did crash a wedding. Before we proceed, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We're over 700 subscribers already. We're trying to get to 800 next. You know how it goes. So, I believe this was in 2019 when I first started Grubhub. When I first started the gig economy, I did DoorDash was the first one. Then I switched over to Grubhub, like to multitask. So this turned out to be one of my first orders for Grubhub. Now, mind you, this is a time when Grubhub they paid well. Not just tips come and go high and down with customers, but the actual company Grubhub they actually had great base pay in 2019. So this was a Taco Bell order, and it was going somewhere, right? I didn't know at that time. You guys know because of the thumbnail what happened, but I didn't know at that time. So the GPS took me to you could say the woods, those areas that you got one house with full of trees, and then the next neighbors not till like 5-10 minutes down, one of those secluded areas. So I'm getting there, and when I'm driving over there, it says destinations on the right, and I look to the right, and there's like dirt roads everywhere, but they all go to different places. So at that point, I'm kind of like, well, what am I doing? Where am I going? So it was weird because I'm calling the customer, calling. Mind you, I'm in 2019 is when I started gig work, so I don't know what's going on, right? I called support and they told me, you're there. I said, yeah, but there's so many dirt roads. They said, okay, we'll try to contact the customer and you try to contact as well. Nothing came about of that. So eventually the customer picked up. I don't know. I think I called 7 or 8 times. I was parked with my hazards on, just waiting for some type of communication. So they called me and they said, yeah, so we're in one of the dirt roads. We're in the middle one. Go all the way down. So, one second. I was like lost, you know what I mean? So at that point, I'm kind of like, okay, so I'm going down the dirt road. From where I see in the beginning, I see nothing. As I'm driving all the way up, that felt like forever, the bumpy, rocky road. You know how we feel with those dirt roads with the rocks and everything with our tires. But it was whatever. So I'm driving over there and I make the turn. All of a sudden, it's a big barn. There's a lot of people. At first, I couldn't tell it was a wedding. Why? Because I didn't see the back side. I only saw the front side. I thought it was like a swap meet type situation. There was a lot of cars parked in the dirt. So when I get there, a person comes out and says, hey, you doing a delivery? I said, yeah. So I'm like, oh, this is probably the person. She tells me, do you have the other cake? And I'm like, the other cake? So I ain't got no cake. I got Taco Bell. So I gave the name of the customer. They didn't even know the customer. So not only, okay, sorry. Not only did the customer pick up the phone, but they don't know her, right? So I'm confused. I'm asking everybody, say, all right, well, you got to back up the vehicle, park over there till you figure things out because we got deliveries coming. I'm like, okay, so I'm calling, nothing's going on. Finally, I asked somebody, gave the name, said, oh, that's the photographer. I said, the photographer? I'm like, I'm sorry, what's going on here? She's like, there's a wedding. I was like, oh. So I'm thinking to myself, there's a wedding. You order in Taco Bell, you're the photographer. Don't you get the free food from the wedding? Like, when I passed to the back, as I'm going to say right now, there was food on the tables. So I said, go to the back. So I go to the back. There's people sitting in the chairs. When you walk the aisle, where the bride walks the aisle, there's people already sitting. They might be early, but they're sitting already. There's brand new like carpet stuff on the floor. So as I see from afar, I see a photographer taking pictures of the couple by a tree. So I'm like, oh my God, what's going on here? So I asked him, can I leave this here? Like, no, you got to give it to her because we need this space. So I got my Grubhub bag and I'm walking down the aisle because there was no way for me to get to where she was at. So I'm walking down the aisle. Everybody's looking at me crazy. The big red Grubhub bag. First of all, that Grubhub bag should be black and white, but I think they already got something like that. But anyway, it was so bright, so I'm walking, and she comes up to me nonchalantly. I think I probably said that wrong. Sorry. She grabs the ball, grabs the bowl, the taco bowl, whatever, and walks away. Like I get you're in a situation, but damn. So I'm leaving. I'm going right back through the aisle, and everybody's looking at me. They're like, Grubhub, I'm like, oh yeah, And I walking by, I almost got a plate. I ain't gonna lie to you. I almost stood there and got a plate where everybody was going on. Dude was serving like plates to everybody. I almost walked by and got a plate to go. But everybody bum rushed the area at that time. Has that happened to you? Have you crashed a wedding? Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, guys. I hope you have a great day and a great weekend. Let's go get it. I believe I crashed a wedding. I should have got a plate to go.